We have a variety of NHL prospects that have signed contracts here over the weekend that I wanted to discuss with you today. Some of these players are college free agents. Some of them are junior players who were not drafted. Many of them, though, are 2018 NHL draft prospects. We'll get into all the latest coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams, so if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. So as I mentioned, we have a variety of NHL prospects that have signed contracts here that I wanted to go over here today. Let's get started with a couple of players that came out of college hockey to sign with their NHL clubs. Let's get started here with the Toronto Maple Leafs signing college free agent and right shot defenseman Joseph Duszak, who's a 21-year-old from Mercyhurst University. He was one of the top players available amongst the college free agents and probably the top defenseman that was available here. So this is a pretty good signing for the Maple Leafs. Obviously, they're trying to build up their depth on the blue line, which is a great idea. They have a ton of good young forwards. They do have some good, solid prospect defensemen as well, but they can certainly add some more to that here by adding Duszak to the pool here. Now, this is a future signing, 2-year entry-level contract, so it does not kick in until next season. Now, we've seen some other college free agents sign contracts and begin play right away. Well, that's not going to be the case here with the new Leafs prospect. He will not begin playing with them until next year. More than likely, we'll start with the Toronto Marlies. Obviously, like I mentioned, they do have a lot of good, solid young prospect defensemen, so that's more than likely where he's going to start. And we'll see how things go, but it does appear to be a pretty solid signing. He had a pretty solid college hockey career, and he's a good offensively gifted right shot defenseman, which comes at a premium in today's NHL. So overall, a pretty good signing by Kyle Dubas and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, the Winnipeg Jets have also made a signing for a college player, but it's actually a college player who they drafted back in 2017, and that's left shot defenseman Johnny KOVACEVIC. He was a third-round pick in 2017 and comes from Merrimack College. He's not as offensively gifted, but his contract's also a 2-year entry-level contract, and it kicks in next year as well. He'll more than likely start in the American Hockey League. Obviously, the Jets have a pretty solid blue line, and they already have some other pretty solid defensive prospects, like a Sammy Niku, Tucker Pullman, etc., that are kind of waiting in the wings trying to get full-time NHL jobs. More than likely, he starts in the American Hockey League as well, and we'll see how things go here for him. We also had one player who was an undrafted junior free agent signed with the New York Rangers, and that's right winger Jacob ELMER, who just completed his junior hockey career in the WHL with the Lethbridge Hurricanes. The right winger put up 81 points in 68 games. Like I said, he went through the last couple drafts, was not picked up by any NHL franchise. So the Rangers have opted here to give him a chance on an entry-level contract. So obviously the Rangers going through a rebuild are trying to add as much young talent as they can, so this does appear to be a decent signing, but based on his junior career, I would be a little bit surprised if ELMER makes it to the NHL, to be completely honest. His numbers in junior were pretty decent, but even putting up 80 points in his final year, once you get to that age, is not quite as impressive. I mean, we've seen many guys even put up 100-point-plus seasons at that age and not make it in the NHL, so not to say that he won't, but I don't think the expectations here are real high, but it's a pretty low-risk signing here by the Rangers. We'll see what ELMER can do in the American Hockey League next year. The Columbus Blue Jackets have signed 2017 7th-round selection Trey Fix-Wolanski, who's the captain currently of the Edmonton Oil Kings, and just put up a 100-point season in an incredibly impressive junior hockey season, his third in the Western Hockey League. The right winger finished 4th in WHL scoring. The season he was drafted, he put up 89 points in Edmonton, and then he followed that up this year with over a 100-point season. So certainly had a really solid couple years for the Edmonton Oil Kings. I do think this could very well prove to be a late-round draft steal by the Columbus Blue Jackets. Obviously, the Blue Jackets, as I've discussed here recently, talking a lot about the more recent prospects, the Columbus Blue Jackets don't have an incredibly great prospect pool here, so this very well might prove to be a draft steal that will really help them out here longer term. All the remaining players are second-round selections from this past year's 2018 NHL draft, including Arizona Coyotes left shot defenseman Kevin Ball. Ball's been playing in the OHL for the Ottawa 67s, who are having an incredible season, putting up over 34 points this year, so pretty solid numbers for the left shot defenseman. For Ball to have a chance to play on such a strong junior team certainly been good for his development. We'll see how he continues to develop here. He can certainly play in junior for a little while longer here yet, so we'll see if he can come back next year and take on a bigger role and put up even more numbers as well. Now, two of the more higher profile players signed here to new contracts include Akil Thomas, Los Angeles Kings second round selection from last year's draft, as I mentioned as well. Now, Thomas was one of those players that was kind of projected to be potentially a first round selection, and he did slip down a little bit and end up going into the second round instead. He's playing in the OHL for Niagara, having an absolutely phenomenal year, putting up over 100 points this year. He followed that up from an 81-point campaign last year, playing as well for Niagara, so he's certainly poised to go on to bigger and better things here soon. Akil Thomas has had a tremendous OHL career, can certainly be that power forward type, and given where things are at with the Kings and their prospect pool, I do think that he's going to be a nice fit there longer term. Obviously, they're absolutely top prospect that they've had in their system since 2017. Gabe Vilardi has had a lot of injury problems and may not play, so their prospect pool is a little bit thin. They do have a few other prospect forwards that are looking pretty solid, but Thomas will be a nice fit there, and he'll certainly go to training camp and battle for a job next year. So solid signing for the Kings here. I do think Thomas has a fairly bright future in the Kings system. Now, last but not least, the Vancouver Canucks have signed one of their top picks in last year's draft, 2018 second rounder Jet Wu. Season's been absolutely tremendous for Jet Wu, playing for the Moose Jaw Warriors in the Western Hockey League. He's put up over 65 points, which is an absolutely great clip of points here for a defenseman that age in the Western Hockey League. It was a tremendous pickup for the Canucks last year's draft, and this year has been absolutely tremendous for his development. I do see him being a right shot defenseman, potentially being that partner for Quinn Hughes. Maybe those two can make up the top pair for the Canucks here over the next couple of seasons. Pretty busy weekend for a lot of these guys getting their contracts taken care of here. Now, we more than likely will see some more college free agent signings here over the next coming days and weeks, as well as many of those college teams' seasons wrap up here as well. So stay tuned. There should be plenty more signings here for college players, and it wouldn't be surprising to see a few more junior age players get signed here as well. So leave me your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. As always, love to hear your thoughts and opinions on these prospects and when you think they can make an impact on their NHL clubs. If you're new to the channel here, I hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams, and there's plenty of content here for all hockey fans to enjoy. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up before you go. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will catch you next time.